42 days. That's how long it took my client Christian to go from 0 to his first 11K month selling on Amazon with no previous experience whatsoever. Guys, we're producing results left and right so consistently, and we have hundreds of client results to show for it. There is literally already a blueprint that you just need to follow. And in this interview, Christian gives you some gems and some advice that you can take and go along your way so that you can get some progress in your business as well. But if you guys really want to 10x the learning curve and 10x the speed of growth of your business, guys, the mentorship program is where you want to be. We have clients from every single major program out there who is charging people 10 times as much, who has half the results that we have, and also gives them half the service. If you really want to make this business a reality, the mentorship program, first link in the description, that is where you want to be. That is where all of these clients that I show you on the channel, they're all part of that same mentorship program. You already have the blueprint. We already have it laid out for you. You literally just have to follow it. So we cover a lot in this interview. He drops a lot of gems. Make sure you stay until the end, and we'll see you in there.
I work as an Uber driver, so I was just driving, and I had a lot of time to think, like, how can I, make more of my time, just not stuck driving all day. So I was like, I started, you always hear like, oh, Amazon is such a big industry, all of those things. So I was like, I started watching YouTube videos. I first started with like private label, so I was like looking into that. When I started to get deeper in private label, I realized that it could take a lot of more capital to start that way. So that's when I came across Amazon arbitrage. So I was like, oh, maybe reselling name brand products that people already know and buy. That should be, more easier to get started. So I started doing that, just watching a lot of YouTube videos, and then that's when I came across your channel, started watching all the interviews, all those other people that had success, and I was like, maybe I'm onto something here. Yeah, that's when I came across your Wholesale Underground course.
And I know we talked in the DMs, you hit an $11,600 month. How long did it take you to get there?
Actually, pretty quick. Yeah, it was like I hit like $500 in those 10 days, and yeah, just like 6 weeks in total to hit 11K.
Yeah, that's really fast growth because like I was telling you before we turned on the interview, it's some people come in and it doesn't matter. They have the same information as you, and for some reason they get stuck. They get stuck in the beginning. They can't like make the moves necessary to just start seeing some momentum. I'm trying to just kind of dig into how did you get there so quick? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Or were you just like, what's the worst that could happen? I'm just going to go all in. Kind of talk me through like how your thought process was.
Obviously, at the beginning, like, you don't really know what you're doing. Like, you try to, watch as many episodes of the course. So in the beginning, I was like, oh, maybe if I can do this, if I can do that. And I remember like some of those phrases in the course, like you say, like the first thing, like always is going to be like harder. Like when you say that, let's say FBM in a product, so fulfilled by merchant, like the first day, the first product, I spent like the whole day trying to figure out just to send one product. And yeah, I remember when you say like the first day is gonna take a day, then it's gonna take a couple hours, then it's just going to be minutes, and that's when how all things play out. So yeah.
So you're just like, I know it's going to take some time and I'm just going to keep going. Like
Yeah,
nothing was going to before.
yeah, exactly. I was just like, if I put in the work, eventually it'll play out. So that's basically what happened. I just started sourcing, and everything became easier and easier every time I did it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get stuck with they come in and they want it now. Like I want this business made by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And when that doesn't happen, it's like your expectations were all the way up here and then you realize, "Oh, this is a real business that takes time." So then it leads people to quit or they don't try as hard. So it's good that you came in with the right mentality. But you made me laugh with the first time you do a shipment, the first time you send FBM, all that stuff, dude. I remember those days, and there was not a nearly as much information as there is now. But yeah, it's like the first day that you send out a shipment, you're like, dude, what? how do I even do this? Like FBM, it's like, how do I even create a shipping template? And it's like, it just
Exactly.
keep taking it day by day, and then it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. That was the whole process. Like obviously when I did FBA, it was also the same. Oh, I need these SKU labels, I need these other labels. Oh, if I do this, it's going to be easier for next time and all of that.
Yeah, it's all practice. That's what it is, repetition. It's like the more you do it, the better you'll get. But I wanted to ask you, I know you said that you were doing a lot of YouTube research as far as arbitrage, private label. I'm sure you did some wholesale research. What made you join the Wholesale Underground instead of joining some of those other programs?
I remember like from a couple YouTubers that I was like, oh, maybe they're some kind of good. Like some of were like a little bit flashy, like, oh yeah, like just get in my course in like 3 months, you'll be almost a millionaire. So I was like, obviously, I had to get away from those. And you were like, starting a business is hard. That's what you were telling us. Like, if you put in the work, like my you said, my course is for people that hustle and want to start a business. So I was like, yeah, he's the real talk. Like I have to get into this course. So that was kind of my mentality. I needed like a mentor, someone that was willing to help, not just monetize of a course.
And then with the program, you also get mentorship, right? So was the mentorship whenever you reached out to me, was that legit? That's one of the things that I get the most questions about because like you said, like there's so many flashy guys on Instagram, on YouTube, then they charge you thousands and thousands of dollars to get in their program and then you never hear from them. Like I had 3 conversations yesterday on Instagram with people who paid 4, 5, and $8,000 for a program and then they get in there and the mentorship didn't exist. It's like it takes them a week just to answer their question. So in our program, every time that you asked a question, did it get answered? Was it legit? Kind of tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, it was just I mean great. If I have a question, I can just ask you in maximum 24 hours, you could answer. So obviously at the beginning that helped me a lot because obviously you don't know what you're doing. So you're like, oh, is this product is profitable? Is it going to be good? Like if I buy this one, is it going to be the right decision? So having someone telling you your feedback that, oh, you should stay away from this product, is this one good, not good? So having those questions asked and answered really quick really helped me a lot in the beginning.
It gives you guys a lot of confidence too. When it's like, okay, if I run into something that I don't know, I can just reach out to Marvin. He's going to answer the questions for, or he'll answer my questions.
Exactly. Just when I was sourcing, I had like a spreadsheet that was just products that I'm not so sure and I should ask Marvin. So that's was my spreadsheet. So yeah, I just started filling the the forms and just ask you anything. And I knew that yeah, probably like you always responded really quick. So maybe like 5, 10 hours I had an answer. Yeah.
So going back to the beginning, I know you had said you were kind of doing research on YouTube. Before you joined the program, did you try selling on Amazon at all, or did you start when you joined the program?
No, I started just when I joined the program. I never really did it before because I was like, I don't want to lose any money because I don't know what I'm doing. So I might as well just start it first, get really into the program, know the ins and outs, try to learn as much as possible, and then start selling products.
That makes it even more impressive that you hit 11K in 6 weeks.
I remember watching your product and like when I was going through the course, there was always a phrase that would stuck with me like in every episode. And when I was going through some of them, you were talking about like this is the time to go all in to make some real life changing money. So I was like, yeah, I just got hyped, motivated, and I was like, yeah, I have to give everything. And yeah, that's when everything happened.
Do you think you'd be this far along in your business if you just relied on YouTube by itself without joining the program?
No, I wouldn't think so. Like, there's so many misconceptions, and yeah, for some people, this is like the right decision. For some of them, this is completely wrong. The same idea of the other YouTubers. So it's like some of them say do this, the other one say no, don't do that. So yeah, you just have to find like a right product the right program, and just that points you in the right direction.
I completely agree. I think when you start consuming too much information from this guy and that guy and this guy, instead of being like, okay, now I'm even more confident to go and do it, it's like, well, now I'm even more confused. And, and then,
Exactly.
so then you don't do anything, or you start you're too careful. And you want to be careful, obviously, but it's like you don't want to be too careful that it's like you're moving so slowly. So I've always said it's like if there's ever a skill that I want to learn, and I've done this so many times, it's like I just want to find somebody who's already done it, get in their program and just do exactly what they say. Because anything else on top of that is like it's just gonna slow me down mentally.
Like, for example, some YouTubers were like, oh, do not ever sell clothes or apparel. Like, this is a loss of time. And others were like, just sell toys, not apparel. Yeah, just basically mixed opinion. And I was like,
Mhm.
where do I even start? Because, like, I don't know. Like, some people would, say, Keepa doesn't work, Celeram doesn't work. You should try this one, this other software, all of that. So I was like, yeah, I just gotta find the right mentor, the right program, and just start studying that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Did you make any mistakes along the way that you were like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that, that somebody watching this could avoid?
Yeah, for sure. Like, when you're studying, you make some mistakes, like on the shipping labels at the beginning, or maybe like for ungating before watching the course. I kind of wanted to ungate in some brands, so I started like buying products before I even knew how to ungate. So that was another thing. So I was stuck with some merchandise from some other brands. Something that happened to me was I started selling this one toy, and I started selling it like crazy. I had these boxes and it started doing really well. But when I was going to ship it, I didn't have any boxes that could fit them. So if I send them just like that, obviously it was going to break. So, and I didn't have time to buy the boxes because it was just like Saturday handled shipping. So I had to do it right away, and I just had sold like 20 20 toys. So I had to start making my own boxes. So that was another thing. Yeah, it was not fun doing that, but I just made it work.
The ungating thing that you mentioned, like you bought stuff and then you couldn't get ungated because you hadn't learned how. Dude, that is super common. Dude, I think I hear that once a day. That somebody dives into Amazon and then they're like, "Yeah, I bought all these Nike products," and it's like, "Well, Nike's hard gated now. Like, you should have watched this lesson or whatever." But that happens all the time. And even sometimes when you source, it's like it's always good to try to list it before you source. Don't list it all the way. Just see what Amazon tells you, because there's been times where people have placed thousands of dollars in wholesale orders and they didn't try to list it first. So then when they got all the inventory, it's like you can't even sell it. Like you can't even put it up on Amazon. So that's a big one.
For me, it was like I bought all that merchandise and I couldn't even apply to get ungated. So I didn't even look the async before. So
Yeah.
when I tried to ungate, like I couldn't even apply. So that was, yeah.
So luckily you can return it. Like worst case scenario, you can just return the stuff.
Exactly.
When people are like brand new, like I like when they start with arbitrage just because of exactly stuff like that. Like this is such a simple mistake, but at least you can return it. And let's say you lost 20 bucks, right? If you dive into wholesale right away with no experience, it's like those little mistakes, those 20, 30, $50 mistakes can turn into two, three, $5,000 mistakes, right? So it's like it's always good to kind of just ease into things, and then we get more aggressive once we gain more experience. So like I would say you're in a place now where it's like, okay, now we can probably get a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, that was kind of what happened with me. So, I started seeing that some products did really well. So I just doubled down on those. So I start to get more aggressive on those, starting buying more quantities. So that's like how the success came. I just started buying a lot of those products that did really well.
That's something that a lot of people don't think about when they do arbitrage. And it's like, that's so important. You need to get the data for that ASIN, and then you need to double down on it and buy deeper and deeper. Most people think that arbitrage doesn't work because they're always just hunting for the next 5 units of the new product. And it's like, dude, you've already sold all of these other products. Why wouldn't you just go deeper on these products?
When I was sourcing, I was like, if I just go off the, the site-wide discount stores, like I can find that product like for, maybe a week, 2 weeks, if the discount's still on. I was like, I have to find a product that I can just sell it, like I can just find it like every time I want to. So I started like started sourcing for those products that didn't have, like a discount or something that I could just buy them again and again and again.
Would you recommend the program to somebody else who's starting out?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. If you're just starting out and you're gonna get started and like having your goal to get somewhere, like having a profitable business, knowing zero right now, I would 100% recommend it.
Now, if you're tired of being on the YouTube hamster wheel, endlessly going from video to video day after day, but your business is not growing at the rate that you'd like, and you're probably wondering to yourself, how are people even making this work? I want you to click on that first link in the description. That's my one-on-one mentorship program where you're going to receive the exact program, mentorship, resources, and community, just like all of my successful clients have received. Guys, there's nothing wrong with trying to do things on your own, but if you want to streamline the process and time collapse your learning curve, getting into a mentorship program is honestly a no-brainer. Like, look, this is Dolly. Dolly spent 6 months trying to sell on Amazon, and in those 6 months, her total lifetime sales were 10K. She jumped into the mentorship program, and within 45 days, she hit her first 10K month. This is Mark. Mark also tried to do this business by himself for months and months at a time, and he got up to like 2 or 3K a month. Within 14 weeks of being in the program, he went from 2 to 3K to his first 40K month within 14 weeks. And that's just a couple. Like, I have hundreds of testimonials. This is Heber. He went from 0 to his first 22K month in 85 days. This is Jose, who went from 0 to his first 53K month in 16 weeks. This is Aaron and Kyle, who went from 0 to their first 20K month. We had them up on the channel, and then they recently hit their first 50K month, and now they're doing even bigger numbers than that. We also have clients like Izzy, who bet on himself, took a chance, jumped into the program, and built a $2.6 million per year business. So it all comes down to how much you value your time. Do you want to figure this business out and stumble your way across it, making a ton of costly mistakes? And maybe, 18, 24 months down the road, you kind of have a good idea how to run this business? Or do you want to be squared away and know exactly what you need to do within the next 90 days? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And if you're one of those people who do value your time, you're tired of being on the YouTube hamster wheel, wondering how people are even making this happen, I want you to click that first link in the description. Like I said, that's my one-on-one mentorship program. And this is true one-on-one mentorship. You will only ever work with me. And I'm not going to just throw you into a Facebook group for you to fend for yourself. I'm also not going to throw you into a busy group call where your questions just kind of get glossed over because there's so many people who need your attention. This is true one-on-one mentorship where you're going to be working with me directly. So if you guys are interested in that, first link in the description. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one.